Well, there are some promising new advances in the fight against cancer.
Blood tests that can accurately detect early-stage pancreatic and colon cancer are performing well in preliminary studies.
And also, we have the latest on the worst flu season in 15 years. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Pothoff is back with us.
Hi,
Hello.
Dr. Pothoff.
Yeah, so this blood test, that
Yeah.
could be a big game changer for a lot of people.
This pancreatic cancer blood test would be a big deal. So the problem with pancreatic cancer is most people don't know they have it until it's way too late. So if you look at 5-year survival after you're diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, it's like 14%. It's pretty awful. About 40,000 people die per year. This blood test, they call it Pac-Man, combined with another blood test, can detect early cancer about 85% of the time in people who have pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
This study is early, it's like 345 people. We need to learn more, but a future state where we look at people who have maybe risk for developing pancreatic cancer, and then we're able to do a blood test at some sort of interval to catch it early, could be a big deal for catching pancreatic cancer early and increasing that survival rate.
Same with colon cancer. It's the fourth leading cause of cancer death, and tests for colon cancer can be very invasive.
Yeah.
So this might also have real promise.
Yeah, I think anything that makes getting screened for colon cancer easier, I think is great. Particularly the problem with colon cancer is we're seeing it develop in younger people. Those who are 45 to 50 years old, they're due for screening, but many of them don't get it. They feel like they're healthy, they don't need it, they don't want to take off of work, do the prep, get the colonoscopy. I get that. At the same time, diagnosing colon cancer early has great prognosis. Not diagnosing it until you have symptoms, not great prognosis. So whether you're doing a blood test or a stool-based test, the local company Exact Sciences has Cologuard, just get that done, check that box so that you're not left with a diagnosis that could be life-altering or life-ending.
Yeah, for a lot of people who have lost loved ones to any type of cancer, I mean, this sounds almost too good to be true. When could we be seeing this out on the market?
Yeah, I think there is one blood test for colon cancer that's already on the market. This one probably has a few more steps to go through. Cologuard's a great option. There's even virtual CT scans, colonoscopy. There's so many ways you can get this done. Just pick one.
All right, that's good advice. Now let's talk about the flu. Worst outbreak in 15 years. Hospitalizations are through the roof across the country. Is that what you're seeing locally?
Yeah, we're seeing really high influenza, both diagnoses and at UW Health hospitalizations compared to previous years. Certainly from time before the pandemic is what we're seeing. Tests, as far as tests we send that are positive, the last week of January they were over 40%. So 40% of respiratory tests that came back positive for flu. 38% last week. If you haven't been vaccinated for influenza, do that soon. The shot is an excellent match this year. Doesn't mean you won't get sick at all, but you'll significantly decrease the chance that you see me in the emergency department or meet our inpatient teams at University Hospital.
Yeah, when you say excellent match, so that means the people who got it, we were prepared for this strain.
Yeah, so they always try to guess the strain, and they have to do it when the virus is still kind of in Asia, and then we hope that it kind of stays the same as it hits the U.S. This year it did. It's the right strain that we have the vaccine for, so it's a good match.
Why do you think we're seeing so much flu?
I don't know. I mean, I think there is just variation, year to year. But this year certainly is a pretty robust year for flu. It took a while to get there, and then it peaked really high.
It's been going around in a lot of our friend groups. One by one, people are out for a little while, and they come back, of course.
Yeah, this year there's probably very few people listening that don't know someone who had flu recently.
And now you can get a test strip, $12.99 at Walgreens, that will test for COVID, flu, or I think it's RSV in one test, and it'll tell you exactly what you have.
Yeah,
are they pretty accurate?
I think they're accurate if they're positive. So if they're positive, you probably have what it says you have. If it's negative and you're like, oh, I can't believe it's negative, I feel so awful, you might still have it. The test isn't quite that good.
To have a test that tests for COVID and the flu, I mean, think about 5 years ago where we were at with everything.
Yeah.
And do you think we might be peaking with it?
I sure hope so. I don't want to have any bad luck by saying we're peaking, but we should be peaking soon, and then we should see cases decrease as we kind of work our way through March.
This is wood if you need to knock on it.
Yeah, I think I will.
There we go. Thank you, Dr. Pothoff.
Thanks, Dr. Pothoff. Good to see you.
You bet.